Hello and welcome back to HiCode tutorial. This video is on Vf Widget and Ternary Operator. First, I will talk about Vf Widget, its definition and how to use it. Next, we will look at Ternary Operator. There will also be some examples to show you how to use them in practice. First, what is Vf? Vf Widget creates objects that are under it when the specified condition is satisfied. As the application runs, Vf responds to changes in real time. For example, if the condition is changed from truthy to falsy, Vf will hide its children. In a word, widgets show when Vf is truthy. Next, let's look at the steps of using a V4 widget. I've created a new project for this video. I will first add a page to hold the widgets. Then I will have two text boxes. And later I want to use Vf Widget to control the display of these two text boxes. To add Vf Widget, go to the widget bar and look for this icon with the if. Remember that the widget bar will change according to which parent you have selected. When the text is selected, very few widgets are available. But when I'm selecting a Vf widget, we have almost as many choices as in a page. The next step is to add widgets under Vf. You can either select it and add new ones, or you can drag this text into the Vf. I'm going to create another Vf to hold this text 1. In its property panel, we can set conditions. Vf will display its children, and otherwise Vf will hide them. Let's take this as an example. Set text2 to fail and text1 to pass. And let's add an input box in this page. And let's go back to set the conditions. When this cursor icon appears, it tells you that you can select from tree. For this Vf1, I will select the input box's value, and when it is greater or equals to 60, then it is true. And for the next Vf, I will set if the score is smaller than 60. Preview and it is originally showing fail because the input box is now empty, so it's smaller than 60. And when I give it a value, it immediately changes to pass. And when I delete this 0, it is back to fail. You can also add multiple conditions to a Vf widget. Click this plus sign here. For example, I can set this condition to an even number that is greater or equal to 60. Again, I will select this enter scores value, and here I will need a modulus sign. And if it equals to 0, this means that it will be an even number. A 31 will make me fail, and a 62 will have me pass. But what if it is changed to 61? I will get nothing by 61. This is because it satisfies neither of the two conditions. For Vf2, it is greater than 60, so it won't display. For Vf1, it is greater than 60, but it is an odd number. So this is how Vf widgets work. The next part is ternary operator. So a ternary operator is a succinct way of doing something in place of an if-else statement. It is called as such because it has three operands: a condition and a statement to be executed if the condition is true, and another statement to be executed if the condition is false. Take the pass or fail example. The two if widgets can be reduced to a single line like this. So first determine whether the grade is greater than or equal to 60, and if yes, set pass, and if not, set fail. Let's go to the editor and try this out. This time we'll only need to have this input box and another text for displaying the result, and this too will be deleted. We are going to activate this data binding for the text box's value and bind it to the enter scores input. And this is where we'll use the ternary operator. Click this corner to open the formula editor. Next, let's go back to the slide and take a screenshot of this formula for our reference. First, the condition goes here. In this case, it will be the score greater than or equal to 60. So click and select its value and greater than or equal to 60, followed by a question mark. And next, the expression for a truthy condition. In this case, it is pass. We will have to put it in quotes. Then a colon and the result for a false condition. And finished. Let's preview. And originally it's 0, so it failed, and 60 pass, 90 pass, 10 fail. So in some cases, ternary operator is more succinct, but in some other cases you may find if widgets are more convenient to use. The decision is left to us, and sometimes we can even use ternary operator and if widget together in a nested manner. Next, we will do some more practice on if widgets and ternary operator, and the example for today is a navigation bar. This is the expected outcome for today. A simple navigation bar. So first there will be UI changes following your cursor when you move in and move out. And when you select one, it will show you your choice. For a V4 widget, we will first need a data source for it. And in this case, we only have a series of tab names. So, an array would suffice. we are going to enter these names into this array. Those are all strings. So the first one, all, second one, animation, and third, branding, illustration, mobile, print. And OK. Now we've simply prepared a data source, and next we'll see how to use this V4 to display them. First, we will need some user interface design. For now, we will leave out the details and just use the essentials. First, I will need text boxes. I think it's better if we work on PC screen. And before you put it into the V4, you can always make a couple of copies of it to see if the V4 will generate it in your expected format. And obviously for now it is not working because what we want is a horizontal navigation bar. But now it is stacking from top to bottom because these are under a page, and a page is essentially a column. So we will have to use a row to contain these text boxes. Now when I copy paste this text, it is in the row. And for this navigation row, I will set it 100 pixels might be too high. 60 will be better, and let it align to the center. For the text, I will it shouldn't be horizontal center, it should be the vertical center. And for the text, it will first have a left margin, so they will separate from each other, and the font size can be smaller. For the font color, I will have this color. And when you look at the background color, you will notice that there is a padding inside this text box. In other words, a little distance from the border and the content. Actually, just now we shouldn't have used margin left. To prevent elements from sticking together, we can use either margin or padding. But in this case, since we will need the effect for this background color, we should use padding left. 15 will be too much, so 8 on the left and 8 on the right. Now if I set a background color for it, and we can see the result. We can make a few copies to see what it looks like. I think the text box is ready for now, and we can put one in the V4 widget, and the V4 widget should go in this row. Set the data source for the V4 widget. Click and select this array. And don't forget to bind the V4 widget's children. Current data. We can try it. The V4 widget has helped us to create the values in the array. But now it has no effects. So the next step is to create the effects. We have two types of effect. First, the move in and move out effect, and the select effect. For the select effect, we will realize it with the Vf widget, and for the move in and out effect, we will use the ternary operator, so we can practice them both. There are two states for this text box. It can be selected or deselected. So we will need two if widgets for them. Create one and drag this text box into the Vf widget, and we can select it and make a copy of it. Remember to select its parent and paste. For this one, name it selected. And this is for others. For the not selected ones, for now no adjustment is needed. And for the selected ones, we will need to change its appearance. First, you can see it is in bold. And it has a background color. Oh, so we should clear the background color for the not selected ones. Background color, where is it? When using a V4 widget and when we want to determine which element is selected, we usually use the current index information. And as an element is clicked or triggered, we can store the current index in a variable widget. So first create a variable widget to hold the information of current index. So for this if condition, select the selected ID's value, and if it is equal to the current index, then it means it is selected. And for the others, if the selected ID's value doesn't equal to the current index, then it is not selected. And then add an event to these text boxes so that when it is clicked, set this value to the current index. We can go to preview and check the effects. Now it is selecting all. Why is it selecting this first one? This is because we didn't set any default value to this number. This is because we didn't set any default value to this numeric variable, and it will by default set itself to 0. And an array starts from 0 instead of 1, so it is originally selecting the first one. If we don't want it to select anything, we can set it to -1, so it will select nothing by itself. Okay, and now it is waiting for us to select, and click. It is changed to selected, and when I click another one, it changes to mobile. Let me go through the logic again. When I click on a text, its current index will be communicated to this numeric variable, and the V4 widget will compare the updated value of this variable in real time with each element's current index. And if the two are equal to each other, it means the current element is selected, and otherwise it will print the not selected version. Okay, so now we've completed the effect for selecting. And the next thing to do is to realize the move in, move out effect. For this, we will also need a data hub like this. I will have another numeric variable and call it hover ID. I will set a -1 to the default value so we won't have any ghosts hovering over this button. And if I look at this expected outcome, when I have already selected one, the selected will not have any reaction to my mouse moving and move out. So we will only have to complete the logic for the unselected ones. And therefore, the event will be added to the others, the deselected ones. I will add another event, and when the mouse over, I will set value for this hover ID. Again, set its value to current index. Also, we will need to clear this value when the mouse is out. So another event, mouse out, and set hover ID back to a -1. We can print the value in console to monitor its change. Let's go to preview and open console. Now when I move into the first one, the value of hover ID is 0 and out back to -1. Second one, 1, -1. And if I do this, and as you can see, we can already get the ID of the element that we are hovering over in real time. Now the only thing to do is to use this value in a ternary operator to add effects to these elements. Take a look at this outcome. When we move the mouse in, and there will be a background color change, so we will activate data binding for the text box's background color and write a ternary operator there. We are going to add this effect to the unselected ones and look for its background color. Click this and Formula Editor. The condition is when the current ID equals to the hover ID. You can use the down direction button on your keyboard to find this drop-down list. So, if the current index equals to the hover ID's value, the background color will be this, and followed by a colon. If not, it will be transparent. Actually, the code for transparent is exactly transparent. So transparent. So examine if current index equals to the hover ID, and if yes, set the background color to this color, and if not, set it to transparent. Hit confirm and we can go to see the effects. Now we can go to clear the background color of this row. And that is basically all for today. We have looked at how to combine the use of Vf and Ternary Operator with the V4 widget. Please try to practice for yourself, and thank you very much for watching.